Bitcoin seems to have found a home right around 21,000 for the moment, which is a hell of a lot better than finding a home basically anywhere less than 21,000. Altcoins continue to outperform for the moment, which is a bit encouraging, but there's a lot of contagion fear in the market, which is worth discussing today. Listen, I think Bitcoin is cheap, which is why I said so in the title. I think it's far less than the actual value. Price, obviously less important than the value. But we will discuss all of that and more right now.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and aggressively punch the like button with your middle knuckles. As you can see here, I'm in a new place. We have not sorted out all of the details of where I'll be, but I did get some blue lights that make me look like an angel. Back there. So yeah. Doesn't look the same as it did in my other spot. So RIP to all the artwork behind me and the silly screens and the turntables and all that stuff as we get this new spot sorted. Yeah, I sold everything to buy Bitcoin. That's right. I sold off all of my material items, family members and such to do that. Yeah, I wasn't here yesterday. I blinked 3 times. I'm okay. Not being held hostage. I moved. I moved out of that room to a different place, and now I'm trying to sort it all out. Hope you like it though. It's a kind of a cool new look. I'm gonna be on Fox News today on Charles Payne at 2 p.m. again, and we'll see if they like my new background. Maybe I'll get a little more dressed up. Guys, before we get started, check out Bullish. As you know, they have all the best parts of both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, SEX and DEX. We'll call it a HEX, a hybrid exchange. They don't call it that. Don't do that. Of course, I've had Surin on from Bullish of late. You know that they have extremely deep liquidity, and it's an amazing place, particularly for institutions to get their trade on. So check them out. It's right down there. Good morning, Fibbo Swanee. Yeah, I do miss the vinyl collection a bit, though. Yeah, I don't know. Want some Bored Ape Yacht Club content in the background? No, I don't, but thank you. Do I get nervous on Fox? No, because I talk about this shit all day. Just winging it, man. We're just winging it anyways. What's the worst that happens? I say something that's not true. Like last time when I said, wow, it's really impressive that there's been no contagion at all from Luna. That's what I said on Fox last time. So listen, I wasn't going to go right into this, but let's go into it. Because you guys know, obviously, that I have major exposure to a lot of these platforms. I've been close with a lot of them. I've trusted a lot of them, and I got a lot of coins on some of them, right? Obviously, listen, I'll just go ahead. We'll talk. This wasn't what I intended to talk about first, but let's find it. Right. We all know about Voyager, right? First of all, I've known Voyager team since like the day they launched. They were my first ever sponsor of my podcast and the newsletter, and they are the platform where I have traded and invested literally since 2019 myself. And so they've always prided themselves on being exceptionally good at analyzing and mitigating counterparty risk. See, Celsius obviously was earning yield, it would seem, by participating largely in DeFi. You know, obviously they were exposed to UST. They were earning yield that way, all kinds of DeFi things. Well, Voyager passes on their yield by giving sizable loans to funds after assessing the counterparty risk of doing so, right? So basically they verify that their counterparty is not going to be insolvent. Well, in this case, they had about a $700 million loan to Three Arrows Capital. So listen, we can only broker in rumor right now, which you know is not my favorite thing to do. The rumor, obviously, is that they are going to pursue legal action to get that $700 million back. But if they're insolvent, we know that that could take a very, very long time. I cannot be clear on how much. People are saying it was 50% of their lending portfolio. I don't think that's true. They have $6 billion deposited customer assets. So that math doesn't make much sense to me. But either way, it was clear that a few days ago, the news came that FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried were offering a revolving line of credit to both Voyager and to BlockFi. Now, Voyager 11% of Voyager is owned by FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. So he has obviously an interest in seeing them succeed. And the loan amount is almost roughly $700 million, which would line up with the Three Arrows Capital news. Also, the other rumor, I'm saying is rumor, is that Three Arrows Capital was lying about a leverage long they had that was liquidated at 24K, about some of their exposure to Luna. Basically, if you were assessing the counterparty risk and with what they disclosed, you would think that they were a solvent and excellent counterparty, which turned out not to be the case. We'll see how the litigation comes out with that, which I think is inevitable. But either way, clearly 3AC was gambling. The platforms loaning them money did not know that. And now there are questions of solvency. So I can tell you what happened personally with me. Listen, on Voyager, I don't have the ability to withdraw crypto. It's something that they had done for me a long time ago so that if I ever got kidnapped or hacked or anything, somebody couldn't take my phone and withdraw it. So I don't even have the ability to withdraw except for through dollars. And I went to check the other day, 2 days ago, and I used to have a $250,000 withdrawal limit, and it magically turned to 10K. I have a huge amount of money on that platform. So obviously my hope is that they continue to be a viable option. I think they will. I think that it's very clear that they planned for this in advance of the news. And I think, they obviously made the decision to reduce withdrawals, which is brutal, to avoid a bank run. So as they get solvent, that will happen. But, it would take me roughly till we're back in the Stone Ages to get all of my money off of there. And that would largely, because I do not have the ability to withdraw crypto, require me cashing out and going to dollars. And I don't really want to sell Bitcoin and Ethereum to do that. So, and obviously now we know that BlockFi also has taken a revolving credit line from FTX. So perhaps there's more contagion coming that we don't know about to these other platforms. See, that seemed like it was a preemptive move, but maybe these were all actually reactionary moves. Bottom line, I love the guys at Voyager. They've been close friends, and I hope that they can sort this out. Right now, I'm not feeling so comfy in CeFi or DeFi or anywhere except for self-custody. I think that this is more than anything a reminder. And listen, the bulk of my coins are still in self-custody. I've always told you, if you're going to use any of these platforms, that you do it with an amount that you're willing to put at risk. That said, when it happens, it doesn't feel that great, right? So I think we're getting reminded once again of the ethos of not your keys, not your coins, and the entire purpose of holding Bitcoin and self-sovereignty and self-custody is to eliminate your own counterparty risk. Because when you trust any platform, you're trusting them. Like I said, obviously hoping for the best here. Nothing we can do but wait, and my assumption is that they will get it all straightened out. Now, we also obviously have seen a number of other platforms start to have issues here. CZ, I wrote about this in the intro of the newsletter today. CZ from Binance actually said, listen, all bailouts are not created equal. He was basically alluding to the fact that a Luna or maybe a Celsius who are gambling with the funds don't deserve a bailout, but there are companies that with just a bit of a cash infusion can continue to operate. He was obviously, I think, alluding to the Voyagers and BlockFis of the world and saying that, if they can get a cash infusion, shore up their treasury and make this all work, that would be extremely viable. So that's, I think, what we're hoping for there. Listen, guys, this is up to people now. Yield not worth the risk. Right. So listen, their Voyager, they had reduced their yields dramatically to a point where I was like, it's not really worth the risk, but in support of them, keep using the platform. Didn't take my coins off, didn't ask them to allow me to withdraw. And I am in the boat with everyone else. Right. And listen, I didn't expect that this contagion would spread so far and wide, and it's a lesson to all of us. I tweeted this the other day. I said, build back better, but with my portfolio and my custody solutions in the future. So I would personally, not saying I wouldn't use any of these platforms, but even reduce dramatically the amount of money that I would put onto them. Moving on. I don't know how to share that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. This is to allude to the title of today's broadcast, which Bitcoin is cheap by Bitcoin. Skybridge's Scaramucci, Bitcoin is technically oversold. He is correct. He was giving a speech and he said, very cheap asset that we can take advantage of because of certain people being over-levered in the system. I think it's very clear Obviously, we have global context, but at this point, macro, global context, inflation fears, hawkish Fed, reduced liquidity, call it what you want. That helped to trigger this, but now we are just repeatedly shooting ourselves in the foot and taking an absolute beating from within. And this is something I've talked about a lot, man. It's like, yeah, this is leverage, right? So, and we're not talking about degenerate 100x leverage by traders on BitMEX here. This is the slow and painful leverage that comes with these platforms, right? Slow moving contagion. It's like a slow moving virus, right? Luna goes down. 3AC is massively exposed. Celsius potentially has some involvement. You don't really see what's happening there. Then 3AC eventually kind of goes down, and that spreads to the next ones, and it's very slow moving. And this is all, it all really is leverage, right? It's a loan on a loan on a loan, and then there's this chain of events that triggers. And eventually it comes down to all of us who are holding the bag on these platforms. Now, you got to hope that, like us, they've all learned their lesson. But he is correct here. Bitcoin is technically oversold, and price is down where it is because of all of these things. It's forced selling, right? Luna had to sell 80,000 Bitcoin to try and fail to keep the UST peg. 3AC is being liquidated, margin called, selling Bitcoin. Everybody is being forced to sell Bitcoin that they don't want to, right? But let's see, is it technically oversold? Well, here's the weekly chart, and here's RSI. RSI hit 26 on the weekly. You got to go back to 2019. Not even in the March 2020 crash was Bitcoin oversold on the weekly. Got to go all the way back to 2019 for just a touch. And I believe this is, except for 2015, the most oversold Bitcoin has ever been on the weekly chart. RSI on the monthly is the lowest it has ever been currently, right? To give you, I'm not saying that means it can't go lower. I'm trying to actually tell you the gravity of this situation. Right. So here, listen, when I was talking to Gunnar 2 days ago, I said, listen, we have this bear market, right? Lower highs, lower lows, a series. There's no bullish real conversation on here until we're above 32,375. That would be a higher high, right? It would break the series of 3 lower highs. But yeah, I mean, this is it. We should at least get a reactionary bounce, even if it's going to dip down further. And we are seeing that, I think, to this point. And also, look, I mean, go back to the last bear bull market, well, the raging bull market, not the last one, of 2017. That's exactly the 19,666 was the high on Bitstamp. That's exactly, we closed above and then retested it exactly as support on the weekly. But we have 2 more days to see that candle close. So there's actually some things to be encouraged about here, of course. Let me see. But we're still below that 200 MA right there. That red line, we've never, ever been below that for more than 1 candle. Only in 2020 did we close below it, and the next candle was above. So we'll see if we can do that coming in to the weekend. Of course, this is what bulls are looking for. There's not a prediction at all, but we're seeing it on a lot of altcoins, V-shaped recovery, right? At this point, you don't want to just dick around here and bearishly consolidate on decreasing volume. You want to see volume come in and see a move to the upside. Not saying that's going to happen, but that's what we definitely want to happen. Dave, you're allowed to be late anytime you want. Dave, what do you think of my new digs here? You guys like it? You like it? That's what we're looking for. So moving on, there's a lot to talk about today. Bitcoin miner capitulation event may have already happened. Research. I want my name to be Research Melker. Research says. What did he say? He said research. Right. So, yeah, minor capitulation is sort of this narrative that we get every single bear cycle. There's a point where basically it's not profitable to mine at all, especially if you have an older and less efficient miner. That seems to have been the case. And then you start seeing these major inflows into exchanges of miner coins from miner wallets. We've seen that. Miners have been just pouring into exchanges, selling off all of their coins because they kind of have to. Older miners getting flushed out. But these minor capitulation events, which it seems like we've now had it, usually precede the bottom of every single bear market. So that's also giving us a bit of hopium that could be the case. That could be the case here as well. Moving on. Coinbase channels Apple as it shifts Pro features to its main app. You guys see this? They're getting rid of Coinbase Pro. People are panicking, but all they're doing really is consolidating into a unified platform. So that's what you got to look forward to. It has been very confusing. It's like you can buy on Coinbase and pay high fees, or you can go to Coinbase Pro and basically pay very low fees. And people don't know that just because it's a different platform and you move coins around. Very confusing. Probably makes a hell of a lot of sense for them to consolidate and make that happen. Now, listen, we've seen some super bullish action on altcoins. I've been pointing to Bitcoin dominance. I'll show it to you, but here you go. XRP leads crypto majors recovery. Bitcoin rises over 21K as rate hike concerns wane. The funny thing is, they're saying rate hike concerns wane. But what Powell actually said is that no matter what, we are getting inflation under control, which would indicate that rate hikes would continue to go up. But what is the market saying? They're going to send us into a recession and they're not going to be able to hike anymore because we're going to be in a recession. So they're there. And markets are apparently going up on the fact that we'll go to a recession, which will make the Fed have to stop hiking rates. That makes sense to you? Make sense to you? God, man, you the contortionist acts that we twist into here is like Cirque du Soleil level to try to determine what is happening in the market and what's happening with Jerome Powell. But this article goes on to talk about quite a few coins that are doing well. And listen, I'm going to talk about XRP in a second, but Bitcoin dominance. I've been telling you since up here, right? I had showed you the 3 last times that we had overbought Bitcoin dominance. Well, look, we've dumped, but almost oversold with very little benefit to all of us. This is usually alt season. What we got was Bitcoin dropping and everything treading water instead of dying season, which I guess is good that alts did not get massively destroyed, right? But we're almost going to hit oversold here on Bitcoin dominance. That said, it's breaking support. So maybe we continue to get some good alt action and see Bitcoin dominance continuing to drop. I said for weeks, I was like, we should see Bitcoin dominance dropping. The problem is you wanted to see altcoins have a bit of an alt season when that happened, and all they did was not suck as bad. But here's XRP as they mentioned. We had this huge symmetrical sort of pennant, symmetrical triangle that had broken down, support retested as resistance, dropping. But this is a nice weekly candle last week and seeing some bullish follow through right now. Not that much volume though. We're looking at a weekly. We got 2 more days left. I doubt it's going to even get up to the volume of these other weeks. So I wouldn't get too excited here. But listen, if XRP continues to get good news against the SEC, we should see it continue to rise. A lot of altcoins are looking pretty good today. One of them being Solana, who's making a phone. Solana is making a crypto phone with help from former essential engineers. The awesome phone. Basically, it's going to be a $1,000 phone that allows you to interact much better with DeFi on the Solana blockchain, which means your phone won't work for 6 hours at a time, at least 5 times a year. I don't know. I like Solana, and I think this is really cool and a step in the right direction. But man, I don't necessarily want a phone on a blockchain that goes down a lot. But Solana seems to be still pumping on the news, about $41. And breaking a key support resistance at 37.37 and retesting its support. Look at that. This is what, just if we're looking from a technical perspective, it didn't quite retest, but you do want to see a break and then a retest, almost what we have there, and continuing up. Things looking pretty good. Of course, there was massive bullish divergence, which I showed you guys many times on a lot of altcoins. Let's see, actually, if we draw a line here, what do we got? And this looks like a pretty, well, you would have to maybe shift it a bit. Let's see. That's probably the honest line, if we're being honest, if we're not being disingenuous. 1, 2, 3, 4. So not quite, I don't think a breakout yet, but clearly we have a descending pattern here, which should eventually break to the upside. Descending, broadening wedge, which should send it to $58.86. I'm not starting to make calls on altcoins here, man. This market is crazy. But if you believe that that is the pattern and that's what's happening, nice bullish divergence, this should hit overbought. So we should see more continued price action to the upside on the fact that they got themselves a phone. This is awesome. Soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo is making NFTs for Binance. He's like he's on Photoshop right now, just like on Illustrator, making some digital art, making himself a Bored Ape knockoff. I don't think he's making NFTs for Binance. I think that Binance is going to make some NFTs for Cristiano Ronaldo and sell them. It's interesting because CZ obviously had sent that sort of needling tweet recently saying it was very hard for us not to do Super Bowl ads and not to do huge sponsorships, but we're hiring 2,000 people while everybody else is firing people. But I guess if you're going to do it, go hard. This is pretty much the biggest celebrity on the planet they could do a partnership with. wouldn't you say? Yeah. So this is huge. This is huge. Multiple year deal with Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, if you like good news, then maybe shut your ear holes right now. Harmony ropes in FBI after losing 100 million in exploit. One token slumps. Well, if we weren't getting hacked, it wouldn't be Friday. It's Friday, right? Ridiculous. We cannot stop getting hacked. Oh, everything with the name bridge seems pretty avoidable. Another $100 million exploit in crypto. I mean, DeFi is a fucking joke, man. I hate to say it. I'm not saying it won't mature. I'm not saying conceptually the idea of DeFi is not great. But man, we built a whole lot of crap without any regulatory rails and without anybody looking over our shoulder. And it pretty much all at this point is sucking pretty hard. Scotty, buying any metaverse tokens? No, because I own them all, down 98.739%. Yeah. So listen, I mean, what is there to say? It's like almost been the news was like, hey, it's almost been a few days since we had a major hack. Right? This is on the Horizon Bridge, $100 million, casual 100 million. Not even a big deal anymore. 100 million, right? Is that even news when we do 100 million? Or is that just like par for the course? And here you got the coin. I hadn't even looked at it. Let's close that up. I just opened the chart. Look, that went pretty good. Never broke out. Yeah, I mean, kind of got slaughtered. But actually, I mean, if that was just the last few days, still trading sideways. And look, actually, people are seeing this as a buying opportunity. Look at this volume. This is massive volume right now, considering what's going on with this token, and it's looking like a potential bullish candle. So I would say that the community or the whales on this are stepping in. That's not good. Stepping in right here, right now, and actually buying this token. Listen, but if that goes slightly lower, this will be selling volume. But for now, there's clear buyers, a wick up on that coin. And guys, it's only taken 400 years. It's been 84 years. That was me being the old ass Lady Rose on the Titanic with the diamond in the water. It's been 84 years. Yeah, they went live, right? Decentralized exchange. You could basically like anything, like Bitcoins to tethers and stuff, direct, no bridges, whatever. Finally launched on 7 networks. And I had a really amazing podcast conversation a while back with Eric Voorhees, and he was like a pretty hardcore Bitcoiner, obviously. He was super, super pumped about THORChain. Yeah. So let's see, now that they've launched, what is their coin looking like? Oh, yeah, we got a nice bullish engulfing weekly right now, potentially. Some people would say that's not because this doesn't quite engulf lower. But definitely a bullish candle, but really hard to celebrate below $3. Look, 1, 2, 3 touches, major break of support, but should rally at least to there if you believe in this rally. So if you believe in this little altcoin rally, there might be some money to be made, but man, we're going to need a hell of a lot more confidence and strength in this market. And right now, my feeling is like, what's next, man? Like, are we going to now make the argument? And listen, this was fun. Like, I've made this argument before. It's amazing that Bitcoin hasn't dumped even harder, considering. Really, though? I mean, we're at 20 grand. It's not that great. And it went to 17,500. So at the moment, like, I am waiting for the dust to settle on this entire market to see what happens. There's a lot of my like trading funds are locked on a platform that I'm hesitant to use for the moment until I get more clarity anyways. So for now, I'm just going to chill. Yeah. I do not believe in this minor rally. Is that where a bunch of people under 18 years old come together to protest a common cause, a minor rally? Scott, I got Luna 2. I'm Sofa King. We taught it. I mean, that's literally not even English. Guys, edit. Edit. Oh, there's someone that needs to be blocked. Bye. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what we taught it means. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're just saying words. I don't really know what that is. Yeah, minor rallies. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go back to DJing. I don't have turntables here anymore where I am now, though. So, Yeah, you know the drill. But listen, when all this bad news ends, shit's going to go way up. I'm just waiting for some of the bad news to end. Because, like, what if another platform goes down or we see some further contagion? Right now, it seems like a good time to just chill. Think we visit sub 20K? I have no idea. I have no idea. And I'm not going to pretend that I do. Anyways, in NFT news, digital toy platform Cryptoys raises $23 million from A16Z because everybody who has any idea that has the word NFT in it can raise $23 million from A16Z. Dapper Labs, okay, that's a little cooler. And Mattel, that's way cooler because Mattel toys are super sweet. But basically, you're going to be able to take all your classic Mattel toys, they're turn them into NFTs, and you're going to be able to go do gaming and metaverse type shit with, like, I don't know who's down here. You got Krusty the Clown, Bart Simpson, Bluey. Dad. You guys watch Bluey, right? Toy Story. Fucking, I can go be Woody in the metaverse. Don't have a Woody in the metaverse. It's weird. Fucking Flintstones. Pikachu over here. Wreck-It Ralph. Chilling with an M&M. A lot going on right now over here. But this Shrek. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know, man. You think our kids are gonna like play with characters that we loved from our childhood in the metaverse? Maybe. Yeah, but Jason, if you have kids, you know about Bluey. The problem with Bluey, though, is that the dad plays with his kids so aggressively that if you let your kids watch Bluey, you can only come off as a horrid parent. Like, there's nothing I can do to make myself seem cool. And every time my daughter, like, she's 7, my 3-year-old, every time they watch the show, it's like, Dad, let's play whatever stupid game they just played. I'm like, no, I don't get down like that, bro. It's fucking terrible. Terrible. What the fuck is Bluey? Luke, count your lucky stars. I'm gonna be honest. If you had to watch a show with your kids, it's a very good one, but no, man. Is that just like, are all Aussie dads like, do they roll like that? If so, then I'm never going. Ever. Yeah, see, follow the leader. They play all this wild shit. And the dad is just in it. Like, in it. Kids on his back, up in trees, pretending, super creative. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just stay-at-home dad or retire early. I think that's correct, Jason. I think you're accurate. So, guys, what's going on in the stock market today? Oh, here's SPX. Oh, stocks are pumping. So that probably means Bitcoin's pumping. Not really. Stonks are pumping. Stonks are pumping. Bitcoin dominance dumping. Got a lot going on. Guys, that's all I got for you today. Listen, like, to be honest, I didn't want to talk about a lot of this stuff. Sucks, right? Like, I definitely try my best to be transparent with you guys about where I'm at with my own decisions and the platforms and funds, and I just feel like that's how I got to roll here, you know. And so, listen, I am sitting uncomfortably with the rest of you, waiting for more clarity and news. Not getting any answers directly. So I'm going to hope that things turn out the best for all these platforms, man. It doesn't benefit any of us for, the investors to get bailed out and all the people with their money on these platforms to lose it. That sucks. That sucks. And listen, it's against my better interest probably to fuel any sort of like speculation or bank runs or anything, because I want my money. Well, where's my money, man? But it is what it is. That's it's the reality of the situation, and I'm in it with you guys. And it would be pretty devastating for any of us to see a Celsius situation with any other platform. And listen, let's hope Celsius gets bailed out too. Not bailed out. Let me rephrase that. Celsius, if they did all the things that are alleged, should not exist. But let's hope that everybody who has their money on Celsius and believed in them, let's hope that they get bailed out. Right. And that they are at least are made whole, I think is the way that we should describe it. So, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I got glowing blue lights behind me. I tried. It's funny. How long do I plan on doing this live stream for? Roughly forever as of right now. Yeah, I had the wolf back there. It didn't look right. Look at this cool Bitcoin sign I got. I was going to put this up too. 1 second. Can you see it? That's cool. friend Bruce, who's a Philly artist back in Philly when I used to live there, Bruce Reinfeld, he made that and sent that to me. When I put it back there, it was getting crazy glare from the screens. It's pretty cool though. Like hologram. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to hang that up somewhere. I have not requested an interview with Simon Dixon about the Celsius bailout, but that's a really good idea. Mike, are you listening? We've had Simon many times in the past, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, we should do that. So we should talk to Simon Dixon about that. Yeah. Anywho, guys, that's all I have got today. Of course, check out Bullish down below. And I'm gonna get my life and shit together. Now that I'm in a new space over here, we're gonna build out 2 spaces. Here. Now I'm answering questions. I'm still here. I think it's gone up because of a short squeeze. The community aggressively trying to liquidate anyone who's been aggressively shorting it. Let me see. Yeah, that's what's happening exactly. It's been like it's kind of like a GameStop, Wall Street Bets type thing. So listen, I'm getting the idea. I'm getting the feeling that you guys kind of like this vibe I got going on right now. So maybe I'll just keep it like this. It's tight. Maybe I'll get like some other lights that do some other lighting things. I have a big like oniony umbrella light that maybe I'll put up in the front. That'll be cool. So I don't look as much like a ghoul. Anywho, that is all I have for you, my friends, today. Thank you for always showing up, sticking in there, and we're all going to make it eventually. Peace.
That's dope.